Caleb Russell wrapped up his 8th GNCC title in his last full season as an XC1 Pro in round number 11. With 2 rounds of racing on the season left, the red-hot Stu Baylor looks to make it 4 in a row. A new era of Grand National Cross Country is upon us, and you're watching it here on MAVTV.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Well, hello again, folks, and welcome to round number 12, the Yamaha Racing Ironman GNCC. I'm Mikey Waynes, and I'll be taking you through today's racing action. To get things started here in Crawfordsville, Indiana, we'll start with our specialized race recap. Taking a look at our XC1 Pro Class jockeying for position out in front. It was a tight win, but it was the 523 and Pro Yamaha snagging the all balls hole shot with a couple Kawasaki's of Josh Strang and Jordan Ashburn battling for second place. Right behind him, into the woods they went. It was still Lane. Lane Michael led a large majority of this race. There we see Strang in the number 2 spot and Caleb Russell, number 1, looking for that 8th national title at the GNCC, was running in the number 3 spot. And then this happened. Air filters, air filters, air filters. Everybody going in to change these things. Ended up shaking things up quite a bit. The 523 takes a nasty spill. Stu Baylor, the Pro Yamaha, worked his way out in front. The number 530 KTM of Ben Kelly in tow. But it was Stu Baylor hanging on for the win, making it 3 in a row. The man is undefeated after he's come back aboard that Pro Yamaha. What a start, what a rebirth for that man right there, Stu Baylor. And congrats to Caleb Russell as well. Was able to wrap up his 8th national title with a 3rd place finish there. What a career. Caleb Russell got a couple rounds left. Had a chance to catch up with Stu after the race.
Honestly, today, I really struggled early on the first 3 laps. I was pretty frustrated with everything that was going on, and I was really aggravated on the track, and it was showing. I was making a lot of mistakes, and I knew the KTM boys were going to have to stop with 2 to go, and I could see that everybody was right in that group. I think 6 of us were all within 10-12 seconds with 2 to go, so I knew I had to make a push, and Thad waved me by over here, and I sprinted to get close to Ben, and I knew Caleb was right there. And when they pitted, that was what I needed. And it was, like I said, today wasn't. Today I definitely don't think I was the best guy on the track all around. I think I had some spurts of excellence, but I know those guys. Those guys had to change filters, and I was just trying to play it at the right place at the right time, and not make any mistakes doing so. So, if you ask what's clicking right now, I would say strategy. The team, the Yamaha having the filter up here. I knew I didn't have to win. I didn't have to lead like I have the last couple of races. Just pace myself and be in the right place, and that's where I was.
Well, can Stu Baylor keep the streak alive here today at the Ironman GNCC and make it 4 in a row? We turn our attention now to the starting line as our XC1 Pro class is off and rolling, battling for that all balls hole shot. Who's it going to be? How about it? The 989 Rockstar Husqvarna of Thad Duvall snagging that early lead, and riders still jockeying for position behind him. And Thad Duvall tries to open things up a bit, but into the woods we go. It's Caleb Russell out in front. Caleb Russell looking to put a little icing on the cake here to close out these last 2 rounds of racing. Keep in mind, Caleb Russell snagged the win in round number 11, and that wrapped up his 8th national title. So essentially out there riding for fun these last couple of rounds. The XC2 250 Pro, it is Craig DeLong grabbing the hot cams hole shot. Craig DeLong in a very, very heated battle with him, Johnny Gerard, and Mike Wachowski. And into the woods, it's the number 99 Beta of Cody Barnes out in front. Wachowski in the number 2 spot. Got to feel good if you're Cody Barnes in this one. He's got a couple second-place finishes this season, but that win has eluded him. Can he get it done here today? And finally, the Fmf Xc3 125 Pro-Am class. How about that? Zach Hayes, your champion in the XC3 class, grabbing the early lead, but boy, Mike DeLosa, the 222 right behind him and battling for that lead early. As we look back to our leaders in the XC1, Caleb Russell out in front. Can he put some icing on the cake of this championship campaign? Grand National Cross Country on MAVTV continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Well, on a chilly night in Crawfordsville, Indiana, on the Monster Energy stage at Ironman, Caleb Russell is honored by KTM with the presentation of their newest ready-to-race KTM, the Caleb Russell Edition 350 XCF. And you can tell by the smile on his face. In Caleb's words, this is icing on the cake, the pinnacle of racing success in his career. Congratulations to Caleb. There he is on screen in the number 2 spot. Stu Baylor still out in front. Josh Strang in third. And there he is, the 523 Ampro Yamaha of Lane Michael, rounding out the top 4 positions. Racing order pretty well remaining the same here the last, several laps there. But should be the same right here coming into the woods as the 514 Ampro Yamaha. Stu Baylor rounds into the creek crossing, kind of looked over his right shoulder there, looking for that guy right there. The number 1, Caleb Russell, out in front. And as you watch these guys, all riding carefully right now, don't want to mess up. Now is certainly not the time for that, but you can't help but wonder and reflect on the career that Caleb Russell has had and what is in store for the future of GNCC racing. Obviously in good hands with the amount of pro riders, but is it time for the passing of the torch? Is that what is happening right now with Stu Baylor, the 514 Ampro Yamaha? He's won 3 in a row. He's looking to make it 4 here today. We're still early, but you got to sit, you got to wonder, is Stu Baylor the guy? Now, it's too early to say for 2021 what will happen. Obviously, a lot of guys battling injuries, this, that, and the other throughout the 2020 season. And they're going to come out swinging in 2021. The only thing we know for sure, we will have a new champion. Who that is going to be, well, we just have to sit and wait. There's a guy that wants to throw his name in the hat. The 989 of Thad Duvall trying to crack into that top 3. Caleb Russell still in the number 2 spot. Stu Baylor still out in front. And this race order stays pretty consistent right here as these riders all just looking for their opportunity to make something happen. Strang in third, Michael in fourth, and into the open field section we go. And how about the view? This really gives you a good idea of the speeds these guys are able to grab out there. Ooh, Stu going a little wide there on the Yamaha Racing Skycam and back into the woods, and down goes a rider. And Caleb Russell looks like he is going to go down right there as he was trying to avoid the down rider. So tough break for Caleb Russell, able to get back on the machine rather quickly, and looks like he just lost the 1 position there. So I believe Josh Strang going to move into the number 2 spot. Stu Baylor looking to make it 4 in a row. Grand National Cross Country continues after this. Well, it's not every day that a guy like Axel Hodges shows up to race the Off-Road Series GNCC. But fans got a glimpse of that at Ironman GNCC. That's right. On Saturday night, he was able to take the bike out, have some fun, put on the show for some of the fans and spectators around. Able to capture some footage of that, obviously. And he was pretty excited, pretty pumped. If you're wondering, where has he been this entire race long? He actually raced in the morning race, not in the afternoon 3-hour, but the 2-hour morning race. And as Caleb Russell checks into the pit area here to let you guys know, out of 960 riders, Axel Hodges finished 22nd in the overall, second in the industry class. Not too shabby. Axel, come back, race with us anytime. Caleb Russell right now taking matters into his own hands. Doesn't lose a whole lot of time right there. A little longer than your typical GNCC pit stop. But how about it? New leader out in front, Josh Strang. Stu Baylor falls to the number 2 spot on the 514 Am-Pro Yamaha. So Strang out in front now, and here as we get into the nitty-gritty of this 3-hour race. Ooh, tough break for Stu Baylor. Strang able to make quick work of the lap traffic. And at least for the moment, Stu Baylor hung up a little bit. Looks like he's more than made that time up. But just another added element to these GNCCs. As you know, the recap episodes, maybe they're only 30 minutes long, but on race day, man, 3 hours these guys go out there and battle. So on top of the elements, the endurance, the wear and tear on the machine, you've got to get around to lap traffic as the race wears on as well. But most of the time, these guys can handle it pretty easily. Ironman GNCC, usually a significantly higher amount of riders. But again, these guys, no problems, generally speaking, as Stu Baylor and Josh Strang get into this open field section. And again, working on some of that lap traffic. Stu Baylor looking over the shoulder right there, looking for third place. That's him right there, Caleb Russell. And how about it? The Lane Michael all over that rear wheel. And there's the 989 of Thad Duvall in the number 5 spot. So Lane Michael and Thad trying to crack into that top 3. Battling with Caleb Russell right now. So Russell in third out in front on your screen there. And Lane Michael right behind him. And there's the 989 of Thad Duvall into this open section that we just saw. Josh Strang and Stu Baylor. Oh, take a look at that. Thad Duvall coming on screen, cutting him off at the pass like it's the Wild Wild West. Out in front of Caleb Russell. Caleb not phased. Lane Michael not phased. Right up the face of that jump with no problem. But boy, whew, that'll wake you up, no doubt about that. So Strang still out in front in this one. Stu Baylor still in that number 2 spot. Strang comes into today. He's got 1 win on the season, looking to make it 2 here today. Stu Baylor, time slowly starting to run out for him. We'll see if he's able to make it happen and get back out in front for win number 4 on the year, win number 4 in a row. And meanwhile, the battle for third place is a heated one. Strang right here, getting around these section of logs. Note to self, if I need firewood this winter in Indiana, hit up the Shaver Family Farm, Sam Shaver. I'll come by for some wood for the fireplace. Stu Baylor makes quick work of it. Man, that looks fun, say the least. That looks fun. Stu Baylor in the number 2 spot right now. Looks like Strang starting to put a little bit of distance, putting a gap on him and Stu Baylor. And every time he gets around some more lap traffic, just creates more of an obstacle for the 514 Am-Pro Yamaha in second. There he is on screen right there. No signs of third place behind him. So Stu's got a good gap on third. Can he hang on to that and maybe chip away at it, catch up to this guy? Looking for his second win of the year, Josh Strang. GNCC continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Well, Ironman GNCC always falls right around Halloween. No different this year in 2020. Jordan Ashburn and Josh Strang out there giving some candy to the trick-or-treating kids. It's always a fun, it's a party at Ironman, to say the least. Josh Strang out in front. Boy, he was in the second place position, worked his way up there, was finally able to get around Stu Baylor. Stu Baylor in that number 2 spot now. Not too far off the pace here. And look at these guys. Oh, boy, we got it wheel to wheel right here. Strang. Oh, and Stu Baylor right behind him, struggling, unable to get up the hill. So Stu Baylor goes down. And there goes the bike, and boy, this is frustrating if you are Stu Baylor, getting some help from our beloved Mud Fleas. And at this point, Stu's going to have to reset, and that's exactly what he does right here. So Stu whips it around, and he knows right there, there went first place. There went the shot at 4 in a row right there at Ironman Hill. A tough break if you are Stu Baylor. Still a fantastic ride, but you know he's got to be frustrated after that one. Strang now in control. Strang in front. Nobody behind him for the number 2 spot right now. Just needs to bring this thing home as he looks over his left shoulder and he says, what the heck happened to Stu Baylor? He is gone. Josh Strang checks out to Laterville. There's Stu Baylor on screen as he gets around some lap traffic, and he's hard on that throttle, but boy, Josh Strang in control of this one late. Got a few more tight sections here to get through and should bring home the checkered flag. Boy, Stu Baylor hard on the charge, man. Talk about a rider out there with some determination right now and knocking on the door. Here's why. Caleb Russell in that number 3 spot trying to hunt him down. So Josh Strang, what a ride for him here today. He's got a win earlier this season. I believe he's sitting second place in the point standings and looking for win number 2 of this 2020 season on the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Team Green Kawasaki. There's Baylor in the number 2 spot, and we'll see how far behind. I think I might have said that was Caleb Russ. I believe Ben Kelly's actually in the number 3 spot. So Stu Baylor coming around to check in right here as Josh Strang gonna take the win, and sure enough, that was Ben Kelly behind him in the number 3 spot. Boy, battle for that number 2 position, and there he is, the 114 of Josh Strang getting the job done. Got to feel good about that one. His second win here in 2020, carrying some major momentum into the 2021 season. And there is Stu Baylor with some congratulations behind him in the number 2 spot. Congratulations to him, and Ben Kelly finishing officially in 3rd.
Yeah, the first 8 rounds were, it was a perfect season besides the winning, you know. So I was able to battle with Caleb there for a few races and was able to get the win at Coker, and I felt strong. In 2 weeks or 3 weeks before that we came back from the summer break, I fractured my scapula. So just a bummer, man. It was I was feeling good, and just injuries happen in this sport, and it sucks. I missed 1 round and then came back fairly early for the next one, and I just wanted to get some points at that one, and I got a couple, and then the last race was better, and here again better again. So it's hard racing back to back to recover to get to 100%, but I feel pretty good today.
Well, a big congratulations to Josh Strang there on his second win of the season. Certainly a good feeling about this one. And we'll head on down to Stu Baylor, who finished in 2nd.
Yeah, it was a good day, and I made a push on lap 2, thinking it was a 6-lap race, and I wanted to get a little gap, and the lappers were just absolutely treacherous out there today, and every time I felt like I could get a little bit of traction, we would hit another lapper, and I think at one point I went down, and Strang got tangled up in the back of me, and from there I was like, all right, I'm just going to chill out, and he got the lead in the pits, and I kind of recovered for the last 2 laps to try to give it everything I had, and as I was coming, apparently Craig, the long one, I guess. As I was coming through that Ironman hill, I was all over him, and Josh has been in that position multiple times, so we know he can handle the pressure, and I was trying to give him everything I had, and he had a little bit more, and we made that mistake, and it cost us a good 30-40 seconds, and I pushed as hard as I could to the finish, but it just wasn't enough. But, all in all, it's a good day. Would have loved to keep the streak up, but, we're back on the podium in front of the Ironman crowd, and, I'm happier than hell.
Well, congrats to Josh Strang and Stu Baylor finishing first and second. Boy, putting on a heck of a show. Ironman Hill making the difference. Ben Kelly, number 530 KTM, finishing in third. We had a chance to catch up with him after the race.
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never raced Ironman this dry, and it was super fast. I'm used to it being soft and rutted and having to pick your line, but yeah, it was so fast. And not much where you could get stuck or hung up. So the whole XC1 pack was together, and yeah, everyone was just going really fast. I struggled in the beginning, just couldn't find a flow or rhythm. But about halfway, I picked it up. I had no choice, and yeah, started going good and felt really fast. But yeah, it's hard to come through the pack. Just the track is so fast and everyone's going so good, and the track's so rough. I didn't want to go down, didn't want to take anyone else down. So yeah, I just did the best I could, and yeah, I was able to catch back up to the leaders there and try to make my way through them. But yeah, they were going fast, and overall, I guess happy with how I rode the second half.
Well, again, congratulations to Ben Kelly on the top 3 finish here at Ironman. And we turn our attention to the specialized race recap, where it was Thad Duvall snagging the whole shot. Good to see Thad Duvall out front early, battling for the lead. Did not take long for the 514 and the number 1 of Caleb Russell to work their way out front, along with the 114 Kawasaki of Josh Strang. Saw some chaos from the Yamaha Racing Skycam. Caleb Russell going down, trying to avoid some lap traffic, cost him a position. And Caleb Russell into the pits, taking matters into his own hands today and trying to finish out that race, trying to put some icing on the cake for the season, if you will. But boy, as the race wore on, it came down to this. Stu Baylor, with his eyes set on Josh Strang, could not make it happen up Ironman Hill. And it was the struggle bus from here. Ended up having to go to the bottom, reset this thing, and fire back up Ironman Hill. And boy, what a valiant effort by Stu Baylor at the end of this one. Really charging hard to try and catch up to Josh Strang, but a little too late. And how about that of Ben Kelly knocking on the door, and there he is, Caleb Russell in that number 4 spot. So again, congratulations to Josh Strang on his second win of the season. Well, that's going to do it for us here today. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.